Who's up there? Is that you, Myrtle?
No, Papa, it's me.
Oh. Well, why aren't you in bed?
I don't know, I just can't sleep yet. The moonlight's so wonderful, and the smell of Mrs. Gates' trucks, can you smell it?
Well, do you have any troubles, Emily?
Troubles, Papa, no.
Well, I'll let you by the couch. Good night, Emily.
Good night, Papa.
3 years have gone by. The sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked the mountains a little bit more, and the rain has brought down some of the dirt. All that can happen in 1,000 days. This is the time most of young people get married. The first act is called the daily life. This act is called love and marriage. It's been 3 years later, just after high school graduation, a number of young people fell in love and got married. It's early morning again, only this time it's been raining. It's been pouring and it's been thundering. And here comes Howie Newsom.
Howie, it's like one of those Midwest poets when he said, you gotta love life to have life, and you gotta have life to love life. It's what they call a vicious cycle.
And there's Miss Gibbs and Miss Webb making breakfast, just like this on an ordinary day.
Good morning, Miss Gibbs. You brought up about the weather, eh?
Oh, I sure hope it clears up.
My wife told me to tell you I hope they will be happy. We know they will.
Thank you. You let her know that I hope to see her in the wedding.
Good morning, Howie.
Morning, Miss Webb.
Was it raining again, Howie?
Well, I was telling Miss Gibbs how many curiosity.
Thank you.
Miss Newsom told me to tell you how I hope they'll be happy. We know they will.
Thank you, Mrs. Newsom. And we're counting on seeing you at the church.
Should have missed that.
Well, Mom, you're losing one of your chicks today.
Friend Gibbs, don't you say another word. I feel like crying every minute. Just sit down and drink your coffee.
Can't believe it's Sunday.
Here, I have something for you.
French toast.
Well, it wasn't hard to make and I had to do something.
How'd you sleep?
Well, I heard a lot of the hours strip off.
Yeah, I get a shock every time I think about George leaving his house to be a family man. You have troubles, I suppose. But none of that is our business.
Well, people are meant to live 2 by 2. It's not natural to be lonesome.
You know, one of the things I'm most scared of when I married you was that we wouldn't have enough material to conversate over 2 weeks. That we eat our meals in silence. But me and you have been conversating now for over 20 minutes without any noticeable bearing spells.
Well, you know that good weather and bad weather. I always find something to say.
Good morning, everybody. Only 4 more hours to live. Hi.
Hi, George Gibbs. Where do you think you're going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my girl.
But it's raining.
Mosh, just a step.
No, you'll catch yourself a cold and call auto service.
George, do as your mother tells you.
While you live in my house, you live wisely, thank you. Perhaps Mrs. Weathers used to call it just 7 o'clock in the morning. Here,
I'll be back in a minute.
Fine, I'll make you another one.
Good morning, George.
Good morning, Mother Webb.
Well, you know what I do. The groom can't see his bride on his wedding day. Not until he sees her in church.
That's just a superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Oh, morning, George.
Oh. Thank you.
Come in, George.
Thank you. Mr. Webb, you don't believe in that superstition, do you?
There's a lot of common sense in superstitions, George.
Really? How's Emily?
She hasn't woke up yet. I'll run upstairs and see if she don't come back and cry for you.
Well, George, how are you, George?
I'm fine.
You know what, George? I was remembering the other night the advice my father gave to me when I got married. First thing he said was to make an order. Even if it doesn't make sense, it'll just show her to obey you. Then he said, if anything about her irritates you, now you get up and you'll leave that house. Trust me, I'll make it clear to her.
Well, I didn't exactly.
So, I've taken the opposite of this advice and I've been happy ever since.
Oh.
So, happy advice. Not to take advice on personal matters by anybody.
Okay.
Oh, well, Myrtle, if you'd like to give the boys some advice, I'll be heading upstairs now.
Well, George, Emily's got to come down and eat her breakfast. She sent you her love, but she doesn't want to lay her eyes on you.
Oh! Bye.
Goodbye.
Now, I have to interrupt again. We want to know how all this began. This wedding. This plan to spend a lifetime together.
George and Emily are going to show you now the conversation they had when they first knew that. As the saying goes, they were meant for one another.
Now, they'll be coming out of high school. It's 3 o'clock. And George has just been elected president of the senior class.
And Emily has just been elected secretary and treasurer. Here they are coming down Main Street.
Emily, wait up. Can I carry your books for you?
It isn't far.
I'm awful glad you liked it, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Well, you've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, since you asked me, George, I don't like the whole change that's come over you this past year. Well, up to a year ago, I still liked you a lot, and I used to watch you while you did everything. And then you started spending all your time at baseball, and you never stopped to speak, not even to really speak to your own family. Ever since you've been elected captain, you've gotten awful stuck up and conceited.
Gosh, Emily.
I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
I don't think it's possible to be perfect.
Well, my father is, and as far as I can see, your father is. There's no reason on earth why you shouldn't be too.
Yeah, well, I feel it's the other way around. That men are naturally good, but girls are.
I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be perfect as a man. I'm sorry I said all that about it. I don't know what made me say it. Now I can see that it's not the truth. I suddenly feel that it's not important anyway.
No, wait, Emily. Do you want to get an ice cream, soda, or something before you go home?